these out of the chamomile tea, and I planted them in these seed packs. I did all 3 of these all about 2 weeks ago. And some took, some didn't. All of these are different kind of seed plants. These right here came out the best so far. These were all planted together along with these, okay? This right here are beefsteak tomatoes. These are the seeds for beefsteak tomatoes that I had soaking in chamomile tea. And then I took them out after 2 hours and I inflated these little cells, which I'm going to show you, and we moisturized them and they grew, and I planted the seeds inside of here. And we did, these were the beefsteaks. I have these right here. We all did at the same time. These are celebrity tomatoes. And believe it or not, but the ones you would have thought would sprout the quickest are the early girls. And that's the name of the tomato, early girls. And these, only one looks like it's starting to take. Now, I've never done this before. I've never started my garden from seed. But listen, I'm sure most of you, anyone that's done it, I mean, last year, one plant, one of these, was like anywhere from $4 to $6 for one little one. So I have a pretty big garden. Now, the garden part, like I said, is not a farm. Even though it's called farm to table to soul, the farm part is just my garden. It's my place that I go early in the morning, I grab my coffee, I go down and I start my day. I look at the garden, I till it, I work the soil, I weed it, I get on my knees, I get my hands into the earth, get dirty, say my prayers, and really, really philosophize about the growth and how little things like this are so applicable to life itself. Okay? And, you know, I don't want to get into the philosophy and right now, but, you know, I've been doing this since I was a little boy. And not the seed part, but actually gardening. And I was introduced to it by my dad. And he had a tomato patch in our backyard. And he took me, and I was probably 7 years old. And he took me outside and he said, see all these plants? These little plants here? Like this. He said, this one is yours. I want you to take care of it. I want you to do whatever you think you should do to make sure you keep it growing. And that's how I began to learn. And if you haven't done this before, I can only say to you that get yourself one plant. You don't have to start from seed. Starting from seed is a little bit more advanced, I think. To me, this is not easy. And it's, I want you to get yourself one plant. I don't care if it's a basil herb. It could be parsley, or it could be tomatoes. All right? Get yourself one in a pot and take care of it. Get it to the point where you can harvest that one plant and use it to cook with. Because that's what we do on Farm to Table to Soul. We go to the garden, we work the soil, we work the plants, and once they produce herbs or fruit or vegetable, then we do the second part. And that is we take from the garden, the farm part, and we bring it up into Uncle Glenn's humble kitchen. And then we use it to cook. That's the table part. And the soul part, well, that's the best. Because in the soul part, that's where we harvest from the garden, We cook for the table, and then the soul part is where we sit down and we share a meal with family, with friends, sometimes with people we don't even know. So if you like that, I'm going to encourage you to follow this family. We went from less than 200 people in May, and we've grown unbelievably to almost 38,000 family members. I got over 37,000 nieces and nephews all over the world, and I want to be your uncle. So if you hit that follow button, you're going to become part of this ever-growing family. All right? So let's talk now about any questions about anything. We started these about 2 weeks ago. So they're starting to sprout. Yeah, Maisha. They're starting to, Tanya. Oh, yeah. Hello. Oh, let me say a quick hello to some of you. Oh, Eddie's in. All right, Espo. We have a lot of our family members in, and we're not usually in this setting. Now, it's still outside. It's about 38 degrees, 40 degrees maybe. It's really chilly out there. And we're on now Farm to Table to Soul, Season 2, Episode 3. Episode 1, we assessed the damage that the winter did to the soil in the garden. See, on Episode 2, we started to clean and clear. Now, we have a lot of work to do. And today, on Episode 3, we're going to be looking at these seeds. And we're going to take these and we're going to place these now in one of these. This is a biodegradable pot that I'm going to take these plants and I'm going to start to transfer them into these biodegradable ones. When they take, and all the roots take in here, and this plant gets now about that big, all I need to do with this is take it and plant it right into the ground. So really something I've never done before. This is all new to me, and we're going to try it. We're going to do it together. Okay? So let's talk a little bit about which ones are which. I have little labels on the bottom here. Let me show you. Okay? These are little like egg crates. These are plastic, but if you don't have these, you certainly can use an egg crate, and I'll show you. This right here, I took the label from the seed, okay, and I put it on the top of this packet. When I started the seeds, I started this with the dome on it and it worked like a little greenhouse. Once these seeds began to sprout, okay, as soon as they started to grow, I took this off and I had this under a constant lamp, an LED lamp. Now, let me tell you why you want to have constant light. I'll tell you why. Because if you just leave it in the dark and you don't have constant light, they're going to grow too lanky and too thin searching for light. So in the beginning, you want to have constant light on your seed, on your little seedlings here. Give them as much light as you can. Now I'm using an LED lamp, and so you want to have something that is constant, that's kind of flooding it to do this. All right? So here's what we're going to do. Let's start with this. And actually, I'm not going to start with that yet. I want to look at these because I have to separate some of these. And like I said, I've never done this before. So what we're going to do is I'm looking at one of these here. Look, this one is good because it looks like it only has 2 plants in here. Only 2. This one has 5. So you can do one of 2 things. You could take the healthiest ones and pinch the other ones off so that you only have 2 in a cell pack. all right, I don't want to kill these. Now, it's very easy to just take it and pinch it and it's done. But I don't know. I'm like in the school of thinking that I'm going to try to save all of these. And which means that by doing a little surgery here, we can lose all of them. But I'm going to give it a shot. All right? So that's what I want to do today with these beefsteaks. These are all beefsteaks. These little things are going to produce 1.5 to 2 pound tomatoes. That's how big this, and it all starts right here. All right? So let me have a little coffee. And anybody have any questions before we start here? Hello, Frank. I saw Melissa was on. Oh, yeah. So we're going to go back to our beginnings, okay? We had some kinks in the road with this account. You'll notice that I have my name back again, Uncle Glenn number 2. It was changed to Uncle Glenn Shop Talk by Tic Tac, and I just got it changed back again. So we're not here to sell you anything. We're not here to do anything except enjoy our time together. For those of you that enjoy planting or enjoy having a garden and want to join me in season 2 of Farm to Table to Soul. We're not going to be pinning any products today, okay? No products at all. I'm not here to sell you anything. So we'll maybe once a week, we'll look at some of the things that I used and we'll have an opportunity to do a shoppable live. But today is not a shoppable live. Now, if you want to go to my profile and you want to look at my showcase, you're welcome to do that. But as far as us being here today, we're not doing any of that. All right? Okay. So, what are we going to do? Well, I think that we're going to start with one of these biodegradable pots. Now, all I did was take a muffin tin, okay? And these, I got 12 of them in here, all right? This will hold these in place. I won't have to worry about these falling over, all right? So we're going to make 12 pots today, and we're going to transplant some of these beefsteak tomatoes into here. That's the plan, okay? So I'm going to move these out of the way for now, and then we're going to plant some new seeds today, all right? So let's take a look at this. I think I'm going to start with a simple transplant on one of these cell packs, and I think we're going to start with this one. Actually, we're going to start with this one right here. Okay? It's got 2 seeds, 2 plants that sprouted. Now, you'll notice that this one looks like it has a little bit of brown in there. That's only the seedling casing that's on the tip of that leaf. Okay? That's how they grow. So these are very, very young. But I'm going to try to do it right now. Because I can do it because I have a little cell pack that I used. So this has a little casing on it. This itself is going to develop and become a nice root system. And once it starts to, the roots come out of this, I want to have it already in here that the roots can develop in here. Then this is going to get planted in the ground in probably about 6 weeks from now. All right? But we're going to start. So I have my little 2 here. I have some Miracle Grow potting mix right here, all right, that I'm going to be using. And I'll just show it to you real quick. Just some Miracle Grow indoor potting plant mix, all right? So I'm not an organic grower. I'm not an organic eater, all right? But I like to do as much as I can organically to learn, all right? Now, I don't have my own composting, so I'm using this from the store. All right? So what we're going to do, I have my little shovel right here, and all I'm going to do, very simply, is take this, little bit of this right here. We're going to take some of the soil. Hold on. Let me just do this down here so it's easier. Okay, we're going to do a little at a time. I'm pouring some soil right in here. Okay? Now this is potting soil. So it's got some, it's very soft. All right, that's all I did. I left a little bit of a lid there because now we're going to take this and we are going to plant it right in here like that. Now, I've never done this before. All right, so I don't know how this is going to come out. All right, but that's it. Okay, and I'm going to take some soil, a little bit more soil. So I want to get some over it because this soil, once I wet this soil will compact, which is what I wanted to do. But you want to make sure, actually, we're going to redo this. I can take what's good. Let me show you. I can redo this. All I have to do, I haven't touched the root system, but I'm thinking to myself, I want as much of this stem in the soil as possible. These are beefsteak tomato seedlings, 2 weeks old. All right? So what am I going to do? I'm going to pour some of that soil back in there. And I'm going to plant this a little deeper, all right, in here. Just a little bit more. I want to have a little bit more soil around this base. This is our first one. So, okay, so I have it deeper in the pot now. Okay, now I'm going to take the soil and I'm going to bring the soil up to about there. Why? Because whenever you're planting tomatoes, especially tomatoes, you want to have as much of the stem of the stem of the plant in the soil. I mean, that's how you get really, really great root systems. All right? So all I did here was, I'm going to take this. All right? That's it. I'm trying to handle this as little as I can with my fingers because it's so delicate. All right? And I am moving this around right here like a surgeon. You want to just get as much dirt on this as you can without breaking it, keeping it a little bit aside. Okay? That's it. All right? Now we're going to see how this is going to work. I'm not watering it yet. I'll water them all together. All right? So we have this one. Now, that was an easy one. Let's take another one and do the same thing. This, all right, I'm going to show you what this cell pack is. All right, how this started. These are little cell packs. Okay? This was this right here. This was this. Now, you can buy these in the store. Okay? They're, I think, I'm not on a Shoppable Live, so I can't really tell you the name, all right? But they sell them, and they're little peat pellets. That's what they are. Now, this is what you can do. If you don't have a plastic egg tray, they do sell them like this with these pellets right in it with the lid. So if you don't have it, you can do this. Let me show you. Get yourself an egg crate. All right? Now, if you don't have these cells, you can fill these with dirt and start your seeds in here. All right? If you want to. Or you can use these, drop them right in, just like I did here. This was here. Let me show you. Okay? That's what that cell pack looked like before it became this. Once you add water to this, and I actually added a mix of chamomile tea and water, I diluted it, and that grows immediately, it takes about 10 minutes, it'll grow to that size. And the seed then you put in here. So that's what this is right there. Now, if you don't have one of these, like I said, and you want to improvise, get an egg crate. I'm going to try them in here, actually, because I have some seeds I'd like to try and see if it works. I don't know if it's going to work. Should. I mean, it's about the same size. And I'm going to drop that cell pack right in there. All right? Once it probably may have to wet it first to keep it. Okay? And then I'll put it in like that. Let it grow. All right? We'll try that later. All right? But this is what they are. That's how these started. All right, so now let's take another one. These are beefsteak tomatoes for those of you that are just joining here. All right, and we started these 2 weeks ago, and we soaked the seeds. These were beefsteak tomato seeds. All right, I soaked them in chamomile tea for 2 hours. I cooled the tea out before I dropped the seeds in. All right, and then they were put in there to let them soak in the chamomile. Why? 2 reasons. Number one, it softened the seed to help the germination quicker. Number 2 is it has a natural antifungal property to it. So when this seed sprouts, it already has a protection. It's almost like taking an antibiotic, all right, to prevent fungus from setting in, from maybe it being too warm, maybe getting some overwatering. So it really, really helps the seed. And that's what I did. Now, I've never done it before, but I tried it. Just like I've never done this before. So far, so good. Let's take another one of these and let's get some more dirt in here. Okay? I'm just using some Miracle Grow indoor potting mix. I'm using indoor because I'm going to be transplanting these into the garden soil. This whole thing is going to go in the garden soil. Once this plant is about 6 weeks from now, hopefully about this big. All right, now we're going to take the whole thing. We're going to dig a hole in the garden, in the prepped soil of the garden, and we're going to let that become 8 feet big. We'll prune it, and we'll get big, 1.5 to 2 pound beefsteak tomatoes. All right? So I put a little bit of dirt in here. Now this is very delicate. You can see the seedling. That brown right there on there is the seedling. All right? That's the casing of the seed. Okay? That's how young this is. And you wouldn't want to transplant by disturbing these yet. But since they're in a cell pack like this, I can transplant it because I'm not disturbing the root. We're going to do an experiment today too. So I'm putting that in here. Okay? All right? Now we're going to put some dirt around it and we're going to let this expand. Now I'm going to wet these all together. Okay. And I'm going to use my stick right here to separate This is all experimenting. Never did this before, my friends. So I'm not telling you it's going to work. I'm just telling you this is what I'm doing. All right? How we cook is how we're going to do this. All right? We have 2 plants in each one of these cell packs. All right? This is biodegradable. So when I put this in the ground, I don't have to take it out of here. This is going to be just all full of root. What I probably will do is cut the bottom out and allow it to breathe a little bit. But you watch. This is, if it works, these are going to be strong, really, really strong plants. All right? And while we're doing it, I got a muffin tin, and I'm putting that in there. This way, when I put water in it, it doesn't go all over the place. I have a tin that's going to just kind of hold the water on the bottom. All right? Now, let's do another one. And then we're going to experiment with this one. Okay? This cell pack has 5 different plants in it. These are all little beefsteak tomato plants. Now, a lot of people will just take it, pinch it off, and throw it away. Okay? I'm not doing that. I don't want to kill it. So what I'm going to do is I'm either going to lose them all, or I'm going to have 5 separate plants and not kill any of them. I feel bad doing it, believe it or not. All right? Now, most people will take it and they'll just rip it out and they'll leave 2 plants. But we're not doing that today. We're experimenting. We're going to learn. All right? So let's do this. Now this is going to take some surgery. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to take this egg crate right here and use this as a base. All right? I have a razor. So what I'm going to do is try to separate the ones that are closest to each other. That right there. And that one will be separate. So here's what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to get my dirt in my pot so I have it ready. Because once I disturb this, even though it's a little bit of a root, all right, I don't want to hurt the plant. So the root system is not developed yet. This is where it's dangerous doing this, because you don't really want to transplant at the early stage of seedling. The reason I'm able to do it with these is because I'm not disturbing the root system. I'm planting this whole cell pack. So that's not going to hurt the plant. What I'm going to do right now might hurt the plant. So we're going to try to save them all, and we're going to cut right into this. Okay? So see how these are? So what I want to do is take this one right here. Hold on. I'm going to take this one right here. Okay? And I'm going to cut that right down to the bottom and put that in one plant. Then I'm going to take these 2, cut it right down there, and put it in another plant and keep these 2 together. That's the plan. Let's see if we can do it. All right? So we're going to start with the single one. And I got to do this carefully, so I'm not really going to be talking. All right? And then we're going to take it and we're going to put it right in here. Okay? I'm cutting the cell pack right here first. All right? I'm cutting it right there. because this is delicate. If I hit that plant, it's done. This has got to be done really carefully. See how I'm doing this? Let me show you. I'm cutting along the casing of this. Okay? That's what I'm doing. I'm cutting along the casing here like this. And we've got to go all the way around because the casing goes all the way around. Now, I've never done this before, my friends, so we are experimenting together, and we're going to see if this works. All right? Now I've got to cut. Now that the casing is cut, I'm going to cut down right into the soil, right here. And see if we can keep it separate. Now I'm going to keep my finger on where that root system might be. Pull this off. Okay? Okay, let me show you where we're at. That is what I did. Now, I'm going to take this without disturbing it. I want to take this and get this into the soil as deep as I can right here. Now, we're going to lift that, because if you disturb that little root on here, it'll go into shock and die. It's not going to have the ability to survive. All right? Now, I think we did okay. I don't see any disturbing there. I'm planting that in deep, but we're going to know in a day or two. Okay? See that? Now we're going to put soil right up to the second rim. All right? I've never done this. I've never tried this, but hey, if the way I look at it is like this, okay? If I was going to be cutting back that seedling and just ripping it out so that I gave room to the other two, I'd be killing it. So I'm giving it a chance to survive and become a plant. And I'm going to learn. Instead of just killing it, I want to see if I'm able to do this and if this is going to work. All right, I'm going to show you what I did. And then I want to get a good amount of soil around that seedling. Okay? Give that stem as much support as possible. Okay. I'm just patting the soil around it. I haven't wet the soil yet. I think we did okay. I think we did okay. All right? So now we got to go to the other ones. Let's cut that one right there. Now let me show you where we're at with that. See this? This was there were 5 seeds in this one pack. You're really only supposed to have 2. You don't want to have more than 2. So what I did was I cut one of them out. Instead of killing it, I could have just ripped it out. But I'm trying to regrow it. I don't know if you can see on here, and I'm going to bring this very close to the camera. I want you to look at the little fibers that are on the stem. Those are roots. Okay, let me show you. I don't know if you're able to see it, but take a very good look at the angle on this. All right, I'll try to angle the lighting for you. But on here, this is all little fibers. that all can be root for this plant. If it's soil under it, it becomes root. So what, I don't know, can you see those little white fibers in there in the light? Can anyone see it? I don't know, it's probably difficult to see. Little white, tiny white fibers. Okay? Little white fibers on the stem. Yeah, they're very hard to see because they're very, very light. But when you go to you buy plants in the store, you're going to see them because they're much bigger. And you want to get as much of that in the soil as you can. All right? All right, so let's continue this surgery that we're doing. Now we want to take these two and separate that right down. Now this is going to be difficult. This is going to be difficult because I'm sure that a lot of the root, as small as these are, have already kind of intertwined with each other. But we're going to give it a try. All right? Let's give it a try. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to cut the casing. Now this casing, actually I could probably take, this is where it's dangerous. If I take this casing off, like that, see the casing? All right? I'm going to be able to separate it easier, but it's more dangerous. See that? That's the casing that's holding this little cell pack. Now, we've got to be delicate. Really, really, really delicate here. Okay? I'm going to put this aside like that. And I'm going to take this razor and I'm going to just cut through the soil if I can. I want to keep the root from being exposed. I need one more. Okay. All right, now we're going to straighten this out right here. Okay, these are very delicate, very, very delicate. This is very dangerous, what I just did. But if they don't take, I understand. But I think if they didn't go into shock, I got to get them the soil around it really, really good. I don't think we really disturbed the root system on this, but we're going to see. Okay, there's a lot of stress on this plant. But again, if I didn't do this, I would just be trimming back and killing it anyway, because there were 5 seedlings in that one pack. You can't have that, because then they'll just get root bound. All right, so here's what we did. Let me show you. Okay? Let me just finish concentrating on this. Try to get this as good as we can and get that root as good as we can right there. I want that to get some stabilization, get that upright, putting the soil around this plant, this little seedling. Okay? think we're going to be good with it, honestly. Okay. We're going to see. All right? We're going to see how this works. Okay? We took 5 seedlings that were in one little cell pack, and instead of just ripping them apart and leaving 2, we tried to transplant them very early in life. I don't know if it's going to work. I think it may. Okay? Now we have to finish the other one. But we tried. We're learning. Okay? Now, I'm going to really care for these. So now we've got to get back to the last one that we put in here and finish that one up as well. Okay? I need to separate these without breaking them. The reason I'm using the stick is because I don't want to. Now these right here, if these survive right here, I'm going to be shocked. These 2. And I'll tell you why. Because, and this is, you see how I'm doing these? I'm doing these like this. All right? Because the root, the soil around the root of the plant was kind of exposed. So right now I am trying to get as much of this little plant seedling in the soil as possible without breaking it. And they're not centered. That's okay. It doesn't, the centering doesn't matter. It's the rooting of this that's really going to be important. Because once this grows, you can always bend it up. You know, it's not going to hurt. All right. So here's what we did. I took, this one was really delicate. So I took it and I put more of the stem in the soil. Okay. More of it to try to get it to take on those little hairs that I was showing you. So it'll get a root system right there. That's what I tried to do. All right? We're going to see if it works. Okay? These are all beefsteak tomatoes right here. Okay? All right. Next. I'm doing all of these today on the beefsteak. I'm not messing with the other ones today. All right? So let's take another one. Now, we don't have to do any dissecting here. All right? We're going to take this as a singular plant. Perfect. Going right in. Look how easy. Nothing's disturbed. Putting some soil around it. Okay. This is a 2-pack. Fine. Some soil in here. These are all biodegradable. These are going to break down. I don't have to take these out of these containers. As long as that's 2, we're okay. Now, for some of you, if you're interested in this, you know, this is something I've never done before. Okay? And this is farm to table to soul. This is what we do. We experiment. This is how we learn. This is how we learn. This is how I learn. I learn by trying different things. Even when I'm cooking, you know I cook the same way. I try different things. It's got to make sense. Now, I'm not just arbitrarily doing things. I'm doing them with a reason. I'm doing them with caution. I'm doing it with a bit of understanding on how things grow. Because I've done it, but not from seed. And certainly not seed planting, transplanting like this. All right? If this works, I'm going to be very, very happy, by the way. All right? Got another one here. Look at that one. The seed is coming right out of the side on this one. All right? But we're going to work it. Okay? I'm putting this one in a little deeper because that seed, that plant is coming out of the side on there. So I need to secure that with some more soil right there. Now that one may have just died. I think it did, because it was coming out of the side there. If this comes back, I am going to be shocked. All right, but we're going to try. We're not giving up on anything. Why? Because this is all new. I don't know. It's very deep in there. I'm not going to put as much soil in this yet. Okay, I'm going to leave this one a little shy. And that little tiny seedling that's in there, we're going to leave that. All right, the bigger one, it looks like it's good. The lamp that I use is just an LED lamp, and it's near a window, yes. I'll show you where I have it. As soon as we're done here, I'll bring you over, okay? It's nothing fancy. I don't have any bottom heat mat. A lot of people use a heat mat. I put a light that melts the candle wax right near the plants. It gives off a little bit of heat. Not a lot, but a little. And then I have an LED lamp, a desk lamp that I use. Now, like I said, I've never done this before, and this so far has worked. So we're able to get all of these beefsteak tomatoes to take. We soaked these in chamomile tea, the seedlings, for about 2 hours before we planted them. So, all right, got a couple of more to do here. All right. I think that here's another one that has 2 plants in it. I'm going to leave this one. I'm not going to mess with this, okay? Because, first of all, one of the plants the seed cap hasn't even come off the top to sprout yet. I'm going to leave this one in. We're going to leave that one alone. I'm going to take this single plant right here, and we're going to do this one. All right? All of this stuff you can get in your local garden store, okay? So there's nothing fancy about anything. I can't tell you the name, exact names on this stuff, because I'm not on a promotional live where a shoppable live. But if you go to your local store, garden store, you're probably going to see the cell packs. You'll see the peat pellets. Okay. And now I can let these really take, because I'm not worried now that they'll get too big that I can't transplant them. I've got them in here. This will stay for 6 weeks before this outgrows this. And by that time, we'll be able to get into the soil with it. All right? 3 more here. Okay, let's pick the ones. Here's another 2 plant right here. Looks like it's a very young one, very, very young. All right, I'm putting it right in there like that. I take the thing, put it in. Now I'm just going to add soil right above it. Okay? This, my friends, is Farm to Table to Soul Season 2, starting. I told you that we would be starting from scratch. And I'm starting really from scratch because I've never done this before. Never. And this is a great learning experience for me. And I'm going to show you how you do the cell packing as soon as I have complete the last 2. Then I'm going to show you how those little pellets work and what you can do with them. Okay? And I'm going to actually get some chamomile tea. And I'm going to tea those seeds. Okay? All I did here. All right, now we're going to wet those down. We're going to get those back under the lighting. Okay? All right. Got another 2-pack right here. Good. Okay? Now, 1 strong, 1 baby coming up. Okay? I'm taking my stick, separate it a little bit. That's a really young seedling right there. I got to be real delicate with that. But we're giving these a nice little home. All right? I'm going to build that up a little more soil under that. Yep. Okay. All right, 1 more. And then we're going to let, I'm going to use this 3-1, and then I can always see what happens when you put 3 together. I think that's going to get root bound, but we're going to try it. Oh, this is actually 4. No, we're not trying that one. This one is, how many seedlings are in here? 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one is just 1. I'm not going to cut it. I'm just going to do the 1 for now. I mean, I have plenty of cups. We can do more. I'm not doing them today. I just wanted to get started today and show you what I'm doing and what we're going to be doing over the next, few days, prepping up our seedlings for our garden. I also going to show you in this live today some of the seeds that I took out of the garden as well. All right, so here's what we got. That's the last one. All right, so I have 12 beefsteak tomatoes. Now, if I went to the garden store and these were even $4 each, it's almost $50. Okay? So, am I going to plant all these? Probably not. I'm going to let these all grow. I'm going to get them to the point of transplanting. But I'm going to have so many of these that I'll probably give some to my sister, my neighbor if they want it. I wanted to really try this to see if I can do it. This is all about learning. And I love my coffee warmer, by the way. All right, my coffee is nice and hot. All right, so we have that. Now I'm going to get this. I want to show you. I'm going to bring you over to where I have, hold on 1 minute. Let me get this out of the way and show you what we got here. And just make a little room. All right. And bear with me 1 minute. I want to make a little room here for it, because now that is going to be a little bit bigger than I would have expected. All right. And I'm going to show you my light, and I'm going to show you what I did with those cell packs. Okay. All right. So let's do this. Let me bring you over to, no, 1 minute, 1 minute. I'm going to unplug my coffee warmer real quick so I can bring you over. Okay. All right. Oh, maybe not. All right, I'm going to have to just take you with my phone. Let me just disconnect it real quick. And my microphone might change, but it'll have to be, okay? All right, can you still hear me? Okay, hold on. All right, I'm going to switch my camera around so I can show you. Hold on. And let me flip this camera. Okay. So, I'm going to bring you over and show you where we're at. Okay? Turn this light on here. All right. So this is where I grew those seedlings. Okay? This is where I grew them. This right here is, you put wax melts on the top, so it throws off a little bit of heat. All right? Not a lot, a little bit. All right? That's what I used on here. All right? That was my heat source to keep it a little bit warm and consistent. All right? This right here is my LED lamp. This was just a desk lamp, okay? And it's got the LED light. It has two different tones to it. It's got that tone, and it's got like a yellowish tungsten tone. All right? So either one, that's the one I was using. I'm going to actually be switching it to that light. All right? See, look, that and that. And there's all different levels. I have it on the high level. All right? So that's the lamp that I used to get all of these started. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take this right here. Okay? And I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to be moving this light back a little bit. And then I'll put those other trays right over there. One there by the window, one there, seedling trays. All right? Now we have to take these. I need to get some water for it. Okay? So when you water these things, you want to water with warm water. Okay? Warm water is what you want. So I'm just warming this water up, and we're just going to put a little bit in each one of those little pots that we have. Okay? A little bit. All right? This is how we're starting Farm to Table to Soul Season 2. We are starting from seed. We are starting from the base, from the bottom, from the ground up. Okay? Beyond the ground up. Okay? So, all I'm doing right now is warming my water up. And I'm hoping that you people that are new here will follow us on this journey, because we're going to have quite a journey this summer and in this harvest. All right? So here we go. All right? So now I have some warm water in here. This we just transplanted. Now, I want to be careful when I do this. I'm going to pour it around it, the base, and not too much, just enough to wet it down a little bit, okay? I'm going to go right here. Okay, just a little. I'm just moistening it. Because remember, they are in a cell pack. This one was the one, that one there I think is, we're going to only get one plant out of. Okay? I'm just trying to get a little moisture in the plant. I want that soil to solidify, but I don't want it to break the stem. These stems are very, very delicate right now. Okay? Very delicate. So they have to be cared for. You can't be harsh. Can't be hard on it. It's like a little baby. You really just got to be really, really taken care of well. Okay? And as it condenses, you can add a little more water. All right? That's all. You don't need too much. You don't want to drown these things. Just enough that if it gave it a little shock, it's going to survive. All right? And that's it. These are done. These are going to stay in place. Now, let's go back and look at what we have over here. All right? Go back over here. And these were the ones that were under, and these we're going to put back. Okay? These are the celebrity tomatoes. All right? I'm going to take this cell pack out because I don't think we're going to get anything from it. I'm going to take this cell pack out. I'm going to take this cell pack out. Okay? And I'm going to put these back right there. 1 and 2. These are the beefsteaks. And I'll know it because there's a space right here. All right? So that's what I did. I put those 2 beefsteaks right back there. I'm going to take this now. Let's go back over. And I'll show you how I had these. We're going to go give it a little bit of light. Hold on. Come over here with me. All right. I'm going to get it back over there, like so. All right. And I can actually put it this way, so it's able to get more of the heat. Okay. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to get some water. Now, I'll show you how you water the cell packs. Okay. All I'm doing on the cell pack is going right in the center, not on the plants. Just in the center of the egg crate. And that's just going to give it a little bit of moisture. You don't need a lot. All right? You want to try avoiding watering from the top whenever you can. You always want to try. Okay? Go back over here. And let's do some experimenting here. Okay? A little bit more we're going to do. These are some basil. This is some thyme. This is some other basil. This is a sweet basil. This is a Genovese basil. Don't really know. I think these over here are the bigger ones. These over here are more traditional. Okay? I'm going to try 2 different varieties. And I can tell you this, that I can tell you that the basil, the thyme, I'm going to have oregano, I'll have rosemary, and we're going to be doing companion planting. I'll have basil in between every single tomato plant. I'll have thyme in between the plants. I'll have oregano in between. I'm going to have rosemary in between. Why? Because they're called companion plants because they actually help the tomato root system to talk to one another and to prevent certain insects and certain diseases. Okay? So these came out of the garden. We picked these out the other day. These were the cayenne pepper casings. I'm going to open these up and see if there's any seeds in here. If there is, we're going to soak them and see if we can get them to take. All right? These are the little things that I'm going to try to do this year. And I want to show you how the cell packs work. All right? So the first thing I'm going to do is I got to get some chamomile tea. But before I do that, let me talk to you guys for a little bit. So if you have any questions, I can certainly answer them. Hold on. Let me just get this back. Can you guys hear me okay? Because I'm going to put the microphone back in. So bear with me 1 second. Put this back. All right. Hold on. 1 minute. Okay. Okay. All right, good. All right, so let's talk a little bit. And I'll have a sip of coffee and we can talk. All right? All right, so what do you think what we did so far? What do you think? Did you guys take that little bit of a journey with me? That experiment that we just did? It's, you know, even if they don't take, I've learned something. I don't know if you have, but today I did. I did a little bit of experimenting. I did a little bit of surgery, okay? And I'm curious to see how it comes out. I'm having a little coffee. So we're not cooking right now. In fact, we've never been in this setting before. We're usually in the garden, having some chit chat. We're in the kitchen cooking. Today, I'm sitting at my table. I have a nice black bag right on top of here so that Mama doesn't kill me if she... So, you know, I'm going to take the black bag off. I'll clean everything down. But yeah, anybody have any questions about anything? Yeah, you got to let me know how that works out, Melissa, with your son. I want to know. I'm really curious. Hi, Francis. Jenny Jen. What are you laughing at? Huh? Ay. Valerie. So we are changing gears here. Okay? I want to, for those of you just coming on here, let me just tell you a little bit about what's going on and who we are and who this family is. All right? I'm Uncle Glenn. And I started in the garden last year with Farm to Table to Soul right around May. Okay? And I only started because I had done videos for many years, just shooting little videos and posting them up. But I would always have my daughter, I would ask her, oh, can you edit this for me? Because I don't know how to edit. And finally she said, Dad, just go in the garden and go live. I said, what do you mean go live? What are you talking about? So she took my camera, she took this tripod that she got me and put the camera on there and we started. And I started talking to everybody and before you knew it, we started getting a family that was unreal. All right, Kit Kat was there in the beginning. Doc Chaos was there in the beginning. All right, they're telling me, you need mods. I go, what's a mod? I mean, this was like my head was spinning with everything that was going on. Because I don't know anything about this. Jenny Jen was there too in the beginning. All right, and it just grew. And I took you on the journey with me from what I did for many, many, many years and how we harvested and how we used what we worked for and how we cooked with it. And then at times I showed you the family sitting down for dinner. I mean, just It's a wonderful thing. And one of the things I want to tell you about what's so important about doing these things, it gives you gratitude and helps you really, really examine yourself when you're on your knees and your hands are in the soil. Okay? There's a certain comfort, there's a certain peace, there's a certain solitude that I have early in the morning. And I learn when I see something like this, right here, like that. That is a seed that I put in the ground, okay? You sharing your love with other people is a lot of times can be a seed that you planted in their heart, in their mind. It's something that you may have done that begins to give it life. Okay? These are just seeds. All we can do is plant them, but they have to be nurtured. And just like a seed has to be nurtured to grow and to go to the point of producing fruit, the same seed is in a weed. And the weed growing will grow and kill this plant if it's not removed. And so I think about the weeds in my own life, the weeds that have strangled and prevented some of the things that could have grown in my life to be producing fruit, that it prevented it. All right? Thank you for all these gifts. All right, thank you. So that's the kind of stuff I talk about. All right, that's the kind of stuff I think about. When I'm alone, when I am in my garden alone, and then you'll notice that you're going to be there watching Uncle Glenn work. And I just start to talk because I'm praying and I'm thinking. To me, prayer is what we just did, where I have gratitude and I give thanks to my God for all of these good little things that He has given me in my life. The little things. It's not about necessarily only growing, whether you like planting or whether you don't. It's about internalizing what God has done and what He's done, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. I don't know where that seed came from, where the original seed came from. It just can go on and on. And that's what I love about it. And so when I have something that's dead, like this, okay? And then I break it open, and inside this death, this casing, this dead plant, you know what it has? It just gave me some seeds. And those seeds that came out of that dead plant will grow to produce fruit. There's a time for everything. There's a reason for everything. When people live and people die, the seeds from their life, the seeds that came from their body to produce another child, that's the seed. So death brings life. It's what I believe. You know why I believe it? Because I know it's true. And you know why I know it's true? Because I believe it. And I have seen it with my own eyes. I have seen how the death of a plant can produce so much more fruit and so many seeds. Okay? So, that's what I do. Now, we can take these seeds now and see if they're going to, now some of them aren't going to grow. Now, these may not be, maybe they won't grow. I don't know. We're going to try. Okay? So, we have seeds here. I don't know if you guys want to get into the chamomile tea today and start prepping some seedlings. You know, I want to make these lives pretty short. I don't really want to go more than an hour. And I think we have already. So I'm hoping that you will continue on this journey with me for the next few months. And if you like that, then you got to follow. You got to share and you got to join the fan club. You don't have to do anything else. Okay? It doesn't cost you anything, but you can follow. Become part of this family. If you like what we do here, then I ask you to help this family grow and love on each other and be positive with one another, encouraging with one another. If you don't like that, you can just swipe away on your own. All right? So if you do like it, then you owe it to yourself to become part of this growing community, because we are going to get to 1 million followers and we are going to have Food Fest. Not food stock, not Woodstock, but food stock, where we're going to all get together as one big community. And we are going to cook for one another, share with one another, and enjoy time together. That's my dream. And everything starts with a dream. But you have to make the effort. And if you want to be part of it, then you need to follow. Okay? Do you grow herbs or veggies indoor for those without a backyard? You can do that, Saya, sure. Let me tell you about that, okay? It's a good point. When you're buying a seed pack, okay, and you're getting tomatoes, for instance, if you're starting from seeds, and if you're not, and you're buying the plants, the transplant, if you're going to be doing it in containers, whether it's indoors or on your patio, you have to get what's called determinate tomatoes, a determinate plant. Now, if you're doing herbs, it doesn't matter, okay, because they're going to grow whether you have them in containers, indoor, outdoor. It's fine, okay? The tomato plants, though, the ones that you grow in containers are called determinate. A lot of times, and I learned this myself, I got tomatoes from the garden store. And I'm going, why is this tomato plant growing 6 feet high and this other one looks like it's dwarfed? Because I bought a determinate tomato plant. Determinate means there's a determined amount of growth that plant is going to have. There's a determinate amount of tomatoes that plant is going to produce. Those are good for indoor, and those are good for your patio in a container. When you're planting in the garden, you buy indeterminate. What does that mean? It means that plant is going to grow as big as you take care of it. You're going to stake it. You're going to prune it. Determinate plants that are in a container do not need to be pruned. You let them grow, and that's it. Pruning isn't going to do anything to them. When you put them in the garden, you buy indeterminate tomato plants, then you have to prune them. You've got to care for them. You've got to stake them. You've got to support them, because they'll grow and grow and grow. I mean, they'll grow 10 feet, 12 feet high. All right? So I just wanted you to know that. I've never really done a raised bed. Oh, no, I shouldn't say that. I did have a raised bed in one of my other homes that I lived in years ago. Yeah, I mean, it works great. Great. Works great. But I kind of like I like being able to till the soil. And there's a certain amount of disorganization in a garden, like in a farm, meaning that it's not as organized, and my garden isn't that big where I need to have raised beds in it. I guess you're right. The raised beds is better for a limited amount of space, okay? Because you can then separate the sections of your what you're planting. All right, so mint, love it. Should you plant mint or experiment in separate parts within the garden with all? Yeah, all right. So EMC, now first of all, anything I'm telling you, I am not coming to you as an expert. Hear me out. I'm not a chef when I'm cooking. I'm not an agriculturist, and I'm certainly not a farmer. These are people with real skills and education and knowledge. I learned everything by trial and error. So mint, I hear a lot of people say, don't put mint in your garden. It'll overtake the garden. It'll only overtake your garden if you don't take care of it. Strawberries, same thing. Because they have root systems that will just grow if you let it. I cut it back. I cut my root system back. And I'm going to do that when I get in the garden. I started to do it on one of our episodes. I saw the mint already growing. So I'm going to keep that mint concentrated to a certain area in my garden. And as soon as it starts to get out of that, I just cut it away. I rip the root out. And I've done it for years, and it never overtaken my garden. All right? So it's all a matter of, now, if you put it there and you leave it alone, it's going to take over. But, it's up to you. It's up to you how well you're going to take care of your garden. Okay? So that's just, now that's where your container planting, it come in great, because then you don't have to worry about it. All right? Or you put it in a raised garden and you have it separated where the root system can't go anywhere else. Okay? Or same thing with strawberries. So yes, those are good times and good reasoning to have a raised garden. Oregano spreads nice too. Yep, it does. And the oregano, I kind of let go a little bit more wild around my tomato plants. There are certain herbs, oregano, basil, your rosemary, your thyme, your parsley. I let it go, because I want that bedding around my tomato plants. It keeps insects away, it keeps disease away, and it enables your plants to communicate with each other through their root system. The basil works like a communicator, like a telephone line, and I don't care what anybody says, it gives your tomatoes a better flavor. Now, I've never grown the marjoram, but there's so many herbs I haven't done. Yes, that's companion gardening. And you'll see when I do my garden, I'm going to add some marigolds in there in between. I have, different things that are going to keep, I just put them all, I make it look beautiful. That's what I think. I want it to smell good when I get up in the morning. I get down with my coffee on a nice summer morning, 6 o'clock in the morning with the sun coming up. And as I'm walking down my steps to my garden, I can smell the herbs. I can see the flowers. I watch the bees. I sit there with the bees all around me. They don't want nothing to do with me. I stink like garlic, first of all. All right? They want to fly around and they want to get into all of the different pollens. They don't want to be near me. You see them fly around. Whoop, gay, I got to get away from this guy. He stinks. It's the truth. But that's the way it is. So, all right. Anyway, let's cut this live out. Are you guys going to join me in the afternoons? If I do this in the afternoon for an hour and a half, would you guys want to continue to join in and follow and share and join the fan club? Because when I do this, I'm going to be less engaging. Okay? I'm going to be concentrating on what I do. So if you come on, enjoy it. Learn with me. I want you to be here. I want you guys to be here. I love having you. And I love being with you. Now, it's 3:45 Eastern Standard Time. Are we cooking tonight? You want to do some cooking tonight or no? All right. Yeah? All right. If we do, in fact, let me go check with Mama. All right, I'll be right back. Let me go check with Mama, and I'm going to let you know whether or not what we're going to be doing. All right? Just give me a minute. 1 minute. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. All right? Somebody asked me about the egg crate. We're going to save this for the next time we work. Because you can use these, if you don't have these containers, you can buy these at your local garden store. All right? It has a lid. When you start your seeds, you can use the top as like a greenhouse to get your seeds going. Okay? But you can also use an egg crate. I put soil in here, or one of these pellets. One of these pellets, when you wet this, it's going to soak up and it's going to grow like that. Then you put the seed right in it, and then have the pellet. So you can put a pellet in here with the egg crate. All right? You can even put it over here. You want to put it on this part. All right? Or you can just put soil right in here if you don't have these. These are good because they have peat moss in them, and they have a little bit of plant food, which is going to help a little bit. Not much, because you don't want to feed your plants now when they're seedlings. No way. You'll burn them. All right? But these are, they come in a little box. I got 36 pellets in a box. And, yeah. All right? So, tonight, here's what I think I'm doing. It's got to be simple. Got to be simple. All right? Because I really didn't prepare. I haven't gone to the store. So, I'm going to make one dish. I have the Irish cream that we made on St. Patty's Day. And I think what I want to try to do, today is St. Joseph's Day. St. Joseph's Day, I don't know, it's like more of a pastry day, all right, where we can make, probably can make Greek salad, something simple. But the St. Joseph pastry is like a cream puff shell. I've never done it, but I have the cream. That means that we've got to make, it's the same batter as you would make for a cream puff. And I only did that once. I did that with you, and it came out great. The difference with the St. Joseph's is that you make that batter, and instead of just, when you pipe it, you put it in a pastry bag, you kind of swirl it, and then bake it, and then fill it. You're supposed to put cherries on top. I don't have any cherries. So, but maybe we'll do some. I don't know. And so we'll do something simple and maybe a dessert. I don't know. But anyway, here's what we're going to do. It is 3:50. I'm going to set the live for 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, and we'll cook for a couple hours. All right? We are not doing a what do they call it again? Promotional live, where you can buy products and stuff. I'm not selling you nothing. I'm going to be doing that once a week just to show you guys what I'm able to use. So tonight, we're going back to basics. We're going to be follow, share, join the fan club, tap, tap, tap. All right? That's what we're doing. Okay? You'll see the products I'm using, and if you want to see them and you want to go get something, you can go into my bio. I have all of my shopping carts right there. Fair? This way we don't talk about it too much. I know a lot of people don't like it. All right? And I want to get back to us growing and inviting your friends and your family, because this is a good place. All right? So Eastern Standard Time tonight, 5:30. That'll give me enough time to clean up. I got to get all cleaned up here. I got to clean the kitchen up and get stuff. We do French fries with scrambled eggs. Ooh. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, how about that? You want to make some corned beef hash? With corned beef hash with some omelets? Like some eggs? Like make a breakfast for dinner tonight? With potatoes and jazz it up a little? I mean, we got to think of something. Oh, you got my brain going. All right, we're going to do something. I don't know. We'll see. All right? Nothing big. No. All right? All right. I'll see you guys in about an hour and a half. And make sure you bring your friends, bring your family. Invite, share. And tonight when you come back, get your tapping fingers in there so we can get we haven't been at 500,000 taps in so long. All right? We got to 2 million one night. And we're going to get back there again. Okay? So I need your help, though. If you're coming just to watch, you can watch. But while you're watching, hit that phone. Watch. Let's do this right now. Let's get to 50 before we leave here. All right? We got 32. Watch how quick this will go. We got 93 people on here. If everybody hits tap, tap, keep tapping as fast as you can, watch how many likes we can get in 10 seconds. All right? Or how long it takes to get 1,000 likes. Watch. Everyone tap. As soon as it gets to 34, I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 seconds it took to get 1,000 likes. 8 seconds. We have had this down to 2.5 seconds per 1,000. All right, so we're going to try it again, but everyone's got to tap. All right, look, once you get to 37, we count. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 again. All right. All right, come on. Everybody's got to double tap. If you double, triple tap, you watch how quick. It's fun. Ready? Oh, look at that. Oh, I can see it's going quicker already. All right, as soon as it gets to 40, watch this. We're going to get to 50 in less than 2 minutes. Watch. Ready? Come on, let's get it up to 40 and count. Everyone tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5 seconds. 5.5 seconds you did it. All right? Watch. You can definitely do this. We're going to get this in no time. Come on. This is fun. Ready? All right. When we get to 43, we're going to count. All right. But everybody, just hit your screen. Double tap. Just hit your screen. Ready? When we get to 43. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 seconds. Oh, that was just slowed down. We slowed down. What happened? All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 7. We slowed down. What happened? Look at this. We're almost at 50. How long ago did I ask you? All right? How long ago? Oh, it's so great. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. We got 87 people. Let's see how quick we get. We got need 2,000. Ready? We're going to go right to 50, counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 seconds. We got 2,000. Yay! We did it! Yeah! And it doesn't take much. So it's fun. If you guys will do it tonight, and when we get on, come on, let's have some fun. Encourage one another to do it. All right? That's all I ask you. And make sure you follow if you're new here. All right? All right. I will see you all in about an hour and a half, God willing. All right? Got some cleanup I got to do. Thank you.